I just want to begin by saying that I have a tremendous amount of respect for this Drake team. Mark has done a phenomenal job with a very young group. You know, a lot of times you don't go down 14 zip and come back and take the lead like they did. So they showed a lot of character. We've got a lot of weapons, and this game is one that we knew would be pretty much like this, an absolute fight to the end. So in terms of our situation, I feel very proud of how we fought. Our offense dramatically improved in the second half, shot a much better number. And I think our defense throughout the game was intense. We made some mistakes, but we kept the pressure on them and did a real good job on Van Dies too, as a young man that I have an incredible amount of respect for. Just watching him on film to know that we held him to 2, I think is a really good thing for our team. So I think he is tremendous.
Bryce had cramps, and talk about the play of your freshmen, specifically Devin, down the stretch.
Well, you know, Dev came in the first half, quick shot the ball a couple of times, got a little bit sideways, and I took him out, settled him down, and Bryce, of course, has the cramps, so we got to go back to Dev. And I'll tell you what, not only did he do a great job offensively, I thought defensively he was terrific. You know, his length is going to help us, especially when he's guarding somebody who's small. He's 6'6". He's guarding guys that are anywhere from 5'11" to 6'2". He's going to be able to disrupt them a little bit.
Right, you get shot 68% tonight from the stripe, but not ideal, but up from the 52, I think, the last 3 games.
And I think we made enough down the stretch. So in that one period where Melson was getting fouled, he was making. We needed that. And you know, he was in the exact same situation in the Iowa State game when Gopher, and that made a big difference in terms of whether or not they were able to take the lead or not. So to his credit, he's worked on it. And like I told you before, Melson is a very good foul shooter. His numbers don't indicate that right now, but he should be a guy that's over 75 for the rest of his career.
You guys have let a few big leads slip away this year. How important was it to see another one slip away so that you would come back and win a game?
We've got an inexperienced team. I mean, we're going to play in spurts. You know, to be on the road and hold on the way we did and play the kind of defense we did and make enough shots, I think was a great thing for our team.
Was this a boys' test that way, like you said, coming back on the road?
Well, we had a number of opportunities to really kind of fall apart. I mean, we lost a big lead at the end of the half. You know, I think to go up 5, considering where it was 3 minutes before, was a good thing for us. And you know, they kept coming, which I knew they would. He's got good players. They run really good offense. He gets his players open shots, and they move it in and out. You know, they make it really tough on you. But I think our pressure was sustained. Our effort was sustained tonight, and that's what you have to do against a team like Drake.
Your freshmen scored 10 of your last 16 points. Just talk about that, about them performing down the stretch like that.
Well, not only did they perform and make 10 points, I think that's a good point, Rick. But it was their composure. I mean, they were intelligent. You know, they fought. They knew the circumstances. They didn't panic. That's what you need. If you're going to have 3 freshmen on the floor at crunch time on a road in a tough game, then obviously I have to trust them, and they have to trust themselves.
In the first half, after you got off to that 14-0 run, it looked like your offense was a little impatient. That's something you tried to stress in the second half?
Sometimes it happens that way, Scott. You know, it comes easy. It was coming easy first. You know, we make some shots, and we get a run out. They're missing long run out for us. Then all of a sudden, they settle down. You know, they make one shot. Everybody settled down for them. You knew they would. They have too many good shooters. And it becomes a game, and now the game is a little bit different. Their defense is up. There are not as many transition opportunities, and they were putting some heat on us. And to their credit, at that particular point in the game, they weren't given the seconds.
How critical was the play inside that you got there, especially late? I think there was a situation where you had a missed shot, and Jared was able to tap it out for McCabe to get the offensive
Well,
board.
at that point, we wouldn't say you had enough points, but we sort of had enough points we could run some more clock. We were able to take a full minute off the clock. It was 2-something when we got the ball back. You take a full minute off the clock and then get fouled. That's a good thing.
Fran, how would you assess Matt's play?
I thought he was great. I mean, you know, I would say for him, 4 turnovers in the first half is very uncharacteristic. You know, and he was down on himself. But I thought he was very good. I mean, I thought defensively he was spectacular. I mean, he's guarding a really good player, and they're running staggers for him, and that kid, he just moves without the ball. He's always moving, and they run, you know, flares for him and staggers, and he just stayed after it, Matt did. And he had 3 steals. It seemed like he was close to about 4 more. So he was pushing the offense out a little further. So, I mean, he's got deep range, but we had him out maybe a little further than he needed us to be.
Coach, you go 2-1 in your first go around here in the state. Comment on that a little bit.
Well, you know, as I said before, I mean, I just look at this as the next game on our schedule. You know, I don't really look at that. They're not conference games. I mean, do we want to win them? Yeah, we want to win them. But, you know, I don't really look at it as anything different than the next game on our schedule.
What was the plan of attack against that East?
Well, we were doubling it, you know, which a lot of teams do. And he's as good, quite frankly, as anybody I've seen at attacking a double team, because he can put it on the floor. He's not a mistake maker, and he's a really good passer. And then Mark surrounds him with really good spacing and good shooters. So our aggressiveness in doubling him early was good. Later on, it waned a little bit. That's unfortunate, but then we changed it. We stopped doubling, and I felt like we needed to stay home. Not give up the 3.
You brought up the inexperience of your team earlier. Just what does it say to be able to come into a road environment like this and be able to get out with a victory?
Well, it's a great feeling. It's a great win. You know, and again, it's a great win because we beat a really good team. And I honestly believe that. I think this team is going to be right in the middle of it. You know, everybody wants to say, well, you know, it's a great win because it's against an in-state team. No, we beat a really good basketball team with a terrific coach. That's what we did on the road. And that's a terrific win for us. It's a stepping stone for us as we move into the rest of our schedule. That is a good thing for our team. And this team's just going to keep getting better and better. Again, too many different pieces that fit, that make it very difficult to defend. And that's what makes, I think, our defensive effort even that much more special, because, you know, they didn't look maybe like they will on other nights, because we really worked. We really got after it.
Fran, with I think Illinois is coming in a week and a half and they have the Big Ten, how important is it to see Matt sort of rounding into form? And it looks like he's just getting, you know, healthier and more comfortable out there.
You know, he's a real steady player. You know, he was off, okay, with the busted thumb, and he was rusty, and then he didn't feel like he could make a shot. You know, and I benched him in the Virgin Islands. You know, it wasn't anything personal. I went another direction. He wasn't himself, and he's had to come out of that. And he's come out of it in a big way. He's a good player. He can feed the post. He can make defensive plays. He can rebound the ball. He can defend. I don't think anybody looks at him as a defender. He's a very good defender because he's a battler. And anytime he shoots the ball, you feel like it's going in. So we can use him in a variety of ways. You know, we can use him as a back picker. We can use him as a down screener. They're going to chase him.
Coach, you touched on these in-state games a little bit. You played 3 in a very short amount of time. Are you in favor of these in-state rivalries?
I think, you know, the fans like them, the players like them. I just look at it as the next game on the schedule.
One more question if you got it.